Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today we are going to be reacting to Charlie reacting to the whole situation with the whole Subnautica 2 drama. This is a big old drama and this is absolutely disgusting from what I've heard. Let's see if I can get some more details in what's going on. Maybe my story will change. But let us get into this video, shall we? Nice. He's taking a dump right off the bat, or just finished. This is how I should start my videos.
Yeah, I just used the restroom. What I've done is called a metaphor. That toilet represents the games industry, and we are but the pipes forced to swallow the pee that is being flushed down our throats from these greedy corporations that control
Oh yeah, no, these corporations are absolutely getting pathetic. It's absolutely disgusting.
it. And as the toilet refills, it symbolizes how the businesses continuously recharge their greed capacitors to come up with new ways of fucking us in the face. Also, I may not have washed my hands, but
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, chat?
that too is because it's a metaphor. These piss paws represent a deeper theme that the layman couldn't possibly understand. No need to.
Yeah, I just can't understand his mindset here. He's just beyond my intelligence.
Get in the weeds of that. Point is, I am constantly surprised at how corrupt the games industry is. I just learned about what's going on with Subnautica 2, and it is so messy. So Crafton is.
Yeah, no, this whole scenario is absolutely like, okay, buddy, you are kind of a terrible person who doesn't want to give away his money, or multiple people's money, I should say.
Is a multi-billion-dollar publisher that purchased the developers of Subnautica Unknown Worlds, and in their agreement, as part of a I'm having a Porky Pig moment. As part of a $500 million purchase, about $250 million was going to be allocated as bonus payout should they hit some targeted goals, some milestones.
I hope that was all written, and I feel like since they got let go, they should still get the money. Like the fact that they potentially signed things to get the 250 million, and then the guy just like, oh, I'm just gonna fire you now. You're not gonna get the money. I feel like it. Well, we'll get further into this, but I'm hoping that there's some kind of like system that they implemented when signing the papers that if something were to happen, they would still get the money. Because yeah, no, let's.
From out of nowhere, Crafton put their shaft in and effectively fired three key leaders of Unknown Worlds: the CEO, the director, and co-founder.
Aren't those like some nice pause? Don't you sort of need those people? Like, oh my gosh.
Three positions had all just been poofed away. And now it's come out that one of the motivating factors could have been that they were trying to avoid paying out a alleged $250 million bonus that they would have been entitled to if they had released Subnautica 2 into early access like they had planned on. Mainly for those three members there. They would see the majority of it. So the theory is that Crafton wanted to avoid paying all of that, so they fired them and then pushed the game to 2026. It's been delayed, so it's going to miss those milestones. Pretty convenient to save 250.
No, they definitely know that guy definitely knows what he's doing. It's just absolutely heartbreaking that there's people out there who have gotten people like an agreement and stuff, and then they find cheesy ways to break this agreement. Like, it goes to show that this person doesn't have morals. His only moral is, how can I screw anyone over so I can make more money? Person must be like very, very lonely.
Million clams. So a lot of people are very up in arms about this, not only from firing these three key leaders, but also for what seems to be the actual underlying reason in a lot of people's eyes. Now, Crafton has issued a statement today that is casting a lot of doubt on the leaders here that were let go, and it's got the community kind of split.
Yeah, isn't like the CEO and these other ones that just got fired, like, aren't they like very important and valuable to like the whole game? 'Cause I've heard the first game was very, very popular. So doing this before the second game, unless him pushing the game back till next year, not only for the taking away the $250 million that they owed him, them I should say, uh, to, 2026. I'm thinking he's hoping that the drama will die down by then, maybe potentially, and then people will still buy the game because it's being boycotted now. Like I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who won't want to buy it anymore.
It was a scathing statement that they put out. Now, before I dive even deeper in here, I would like to make a mention of something that I think is extremely important. GamerSups has cans, baby, and Goof Juice is one of 3.
Hey,
So
no way!
Canned GamerSups is finally here, and Goof Juice has made its premiere.
I'm gonna goof
This
all over
is
that juice.
the best. Anyway, though, I won't gush too long on it. It's available now. I'll put a link to it in the description, and it will be available in stores and physical locations either today
just gonna edit
or
this part
sometime
out.
soon. I'm not exactly sure on the timeline, but we've been chugging the cans since we got them. They're really fucking good. But anyway, back to something that's not good, and that's what's happening with Subnautica 2. Let me show you the statement from Crafton here. Understandably, Crafton has been catching more shit than a construction site porta potty, and they put out this statement. Inevitable leadership change driven by project abandonment despite holding 90% of earnout for themselves. So this is them trying to defend their decision to release these 3 key positions.
I wonder if the guys who got let go, I wonder if they'll be able to sue or like just take legal action in some form, you know?
First and foremost, we sincerely thank you for your continued support, passion, and unwavering dedication to Subnautica. Background of leadership change. Crafton deeply values Subnautica's unique creativity and immersive world building. To provide fans with even better gaming experiences, we acquired Unknown Worlds, fully committed to supporting their future success. They go on to like why they snatched up this company. They can use a lot of words here, but the main thing is they saw how much money they stood to make by having this under their umbrella. They then talk about how they purchased for $500 million, but
500 million, eh? With $250 million bonus if they got this the numbers.
approximately 90% of it, approximately 90% of up to 250 million was for the 3 executives that they had just now let go. Now they explain why. Regrettably, the former leadership abandoned the responsibilities entrusted to them.
See, I'm happy Charlie's reading this because that's a lot of reading and I don't want to read.
Subnautica 2 was originally planned for early access launch in early 2024, but the timeline has since been significantly delayed. Crafton made multiple
I didn't know it was already supposed to be early access in 2024.
requests to Charlie and Max to resume their roles as game director and technical director, respectively, but both declined to do so. In particular, following the failure of Moonbreaker, Crafton asked Charlie to devote himself to the development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in the game development, he chose to focus on a personal film project. I'm going to take a brief pause here. Here, a little intermission. I believe this is the personal film project Crafton is
What the flip? Everyone go watch this.
referring to. Abyssal Films is a new film production company from the creator of Subnautica, and this is the work.
We need a Christmas movie called The MILF and the DILF. I feel like that'd be a good movie.
Nutmeg and mistletoe, and an AI-generated poster to promote it. Myself and a small team are making an
How do we know
independent
it's
Christmas
AI?
comedy together. Think of it like a spiritual successor to Elf. It's warm, funny, and has tons of heart. We're hoping to get a cut.
Okay, so let's say this guy did. Okay, so let's say before when this guy bought a bunch of a majority, like the 90% or whatever it was, for the company of Subnautica, right? And they made an agreement that they would help, obviously, with the new game or whatnot. And then this guy ended up not working on it and working on this movie thing. Could, like, if they signed that they would help with the game and then they don't help with the game, could that potentially break the contract?
A couple SNL vets to act in it as well. If that claim is true that he abandoned Subnautica 2 to work on a Christmas comedy with AI posters out the wazoo, That would be the craziest fucking plot twist.
Yeah, because then I feel like he could just lose that money because he didn't partake, you know?
Moonbreaker, I'd never heard of before, but I looked into it. Apparently, almost all the criticism around that game was solely because of the microtransactions that were just ham fisted into it, which seems like it was a decision from Crafton, not so much.
Handfuls of microtransactions are so dumb in games. Like at least the ones that are like keychains going selling for like $5 in game Overwatch.
Much them, like the actual developers. So they kind of like throw that nugget in here, like, well, after Moonbreaker fucking flopped and collapsed, all because they're bad developers, we asked if you could focus on maybe something good. Even though it seems like it was the Crafton DNA that ruined that with microtransactions, at least as I understand it. Keep in mind, I am very unfamiliar with Moonbreaker, but that's what I've been
Yeah, I don't recall ever hearing anything about Moonbreaker.
reading. Grafton believes that the absence of core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion in direction and significant delays in the overall project schedule. The current early access version also falls short in terms of content volume. We're deeply disappointed by the former leadership's conduct, and above all, we feel a profound sense of betrayal by their failure to honor the trust placed in them by our fans. I like how they say our fans. No one's fans of Crafton. They were fans of
Yeah, I don't even know this crafting guy. Yeah.
Unknown Worlds, and now they're just adopting those fans. You've disappointed the Crafton loyalists, the enthusiasts of Crafton that we've worked so hard to build. Grafton's full support for the dedicated development team to uphold our commitment to provide you with the best possible gaming experience. We made the difficult yet necessary decision to change the executive leadership.
See if this Crafton guy, if he was putting his like whole heart and soul into this game, and then these CEO and whatnot, like they end up making a movie instead, I could see him feeling betrayed, uh, and feeling like the team ain't really there, you know, since they feel like might have different priorities.
Subnautica 2 has been and continues to be actively developed by a dedicated core team who share genuine passion, accountability, and commitment to the game. We deeply respect their their expertise and creativity, and will continue to provide full and unwavering support, enabling them to focus solely on developing the exceptional game you deserve. And then it basically goes into now the second part about how they want fair and equitable compensation for all remaining Unknown Worlds employees who have continuously and tirelessly contributed to Subnautica 2's development, and that they believe it needs to be, rewarded. But not the three key members that they've fired. That 250 million, well, that's fizzled out. So whatever they're promising to the remaining employees, I bet it's not to the tune of $250 million.
Oh no, I'm sure it's attuned to like a pizza party on a Friday.
Somehow they were able to weasel their way out of that huge paycheck. Now, what I found really interesting here is just how direct this is. This actually reads like fucking internet content creator beef. They are actually coming out here airing dirty laundry and just being blunt. Like, they abandoned the project. They would not work on it. They weren't doing the job that we'd expect them to do, like delivering this quality for early access that we.
Sometimes it's good to be blunt. Sometimes trying to wiggle around to make the words sound better it makes things more annoying.
Want them to deliver, so we fired them. That's really harsh. And in response,
and yeah, if these harsh words aren't true, then that guy's just a dingleberry. But like, if it's true, then he's just shooting out truth. Like, what more can you say?
To this, they are filing a lawsuit against them. But I will say, to be that direct, it leads me to believe that there might be more to this story than what people initially thought was.
Yeah, no, that. I'm starting to now have second guess here as well, because I was originally thinking, oh, this big guy wanted to save money, like I said earlier in the video, so I'm just gonna fire these three guys and save me like $250 million. But now I'm hearing like, oh, maybe potentially these guys weren't even contributing towards the game being made. So yeah,
what's going on here? Charlie Cleveland, Max McGuire, and former CEO Ted Gill are filing a lawsuit against Crafton amid an.
Yeah, if they're gonna try and file a lawsuit against this, and it's found out that they weren't properly doing their job, like a CEO should be there making sure things are being done, you know?
increasingly bitter row over $250 million bonus. In a statement, Cleveland called recent events an explosive and surreal time and told fans anxiously waiting to play Subnautica 2 that they all deserved the full story. So as for timeline, Krafton acquired them in 2021. They were told they'd be operating independently. Then they brought in a former striking distance CEO named Steve Papoutsis, and then Ted Gill, Charlie Cleveland, and Max McGuire were replaced effective immediately. Cleveland expressed his shock, saying, "After all these years to find out that I'm no longer able to work at the company I started stings." Krafton is
Yeah, if he's the one that started the company, that's rough.
sticking to their guns, saying that this decision had nothing to do with any contractual or financial considerations and was solely in response to feedback from playtests, and that delay talks were already on the table before those three were even outed, and that even after multiple requests, Cleveland and McGuire just declined to like resume work on Subnautica 2 in the way that Krafton wanted them to, which I feel like that's a little odd, especially since $250 million was still on the table to hit these goals. I feel like they would be highly motivated to
Dude, I'd be working 60 hours a week if I had to, knowing that uh I would be getting $250 million.
continue work on it instead of just spontaneously deciding, like, no, we don't want that, and crossing their arms. But anyway,
But they probably originally have a lot of money. So I feel like when you have a lot of money and you hear $250 million, it's like it's like when you work at a job, right? And you're making, let's say, $20 an hour, and then all of a sudden your work gives you $1 raise. You're like, oh heck yeah, let's work harder now. And then after like a couple weeks, you sort of go back to not working harder. So maybe they originally, as soon as they heard the bonus, they're like, yeah, let's work hard for it. And then they sort of just went back down with their motivation.
in response to all of this, they're filing this lawsuit. As I wrote last week, we know in our souls that the game is ready for early access. That's just how we roll, and we'd like nothing more than for you to play it. Game devs live for this, but it's not currently under our control. We filed a lawsuit against Kraft, and the details should eventually become at least mostly public. You all deserve the full story. Suing a multi-billion-dollar company in a painful, public, and possibly protracted way was certainly not on my bucket list, but this needs to be made right. Subnautica has been my life's work, and I would never willingly abandon it or the amazing team that has poured their hearts into it. As for the earnout, the idea that Max, Ted, and I wanted to keep it all for ourselves is totally untrue. I'm in this industry because I love it, not for riches. Historically, we've always shared our profits with the team and did the same when we sold the studio. You can be damn sure we'll continue with the earnout bonus as well.
I want to know why they potentially, or why they sold their company. Uh,
They deserve it for all their incredible work trying to get this great game into your hands. Stay tuned. So now fans have responded to this, saying that they need to boycott Subnautica 2. Now, while the sentiment in the community has been mostly against Krafton and in support of them, there is, of course, a conversation that needs to be had, and a lot of people are discussing it, about what kind of product were they going to release? Maybe it really isn't in the best state. With $250 million on the table, encouraging them to push out the game, maybe they were highly motivated to just get something out as quickly as possible to reach that goal.
yeah, that's a good thought there. Because if you knew you could get $250 million sooner, I could see one trying to push something out before it was properly ready.
So fans are saying, like, it's hard to know, like, who's 100% right and wrong when it comes to this game of he said, she said. But with 250 hanging in limbo, relying solely upon, like, these milestones, these targets, there is a chance that they might have just tried to, like, push this bird out of the nest before it was ready to fly and deliver a subpar Subnautica 2 early access. It's
I think what would have been the better solution is not bring up the bonus and then wait till they've worked on it and release the game and then be like, hey, here you guys go. Here's this bonus I've been wanting to give you guys, kind of thing. Because yeah, I feel like if it's once this game comes out, you get the bonus. I can see people their mindset being like, let's try and rush this a little bit so we can get that money sooner. $250 million. That's stupid money. That's like that could last me probably for the rest of my life.
It's possible, but we don't know. And now we'll never know because they got fired and this got delayed. Really, though, personally, I just can't imagine them just all of a sudden spontaneously deciding to stop working on Subnautica 2. They were the ones that stood to gain the most here.
That is true.
250 million doubloons on the table. If they push out a good product that could reach these goals, I feel like that would be their sole focus. Of course, I don't know. I wasn't a fly on the wall at the office, but it just seems so odd that they would just stop, abandon it to, at least one of them, focus on a fucking Christmas movie. That is not an allegation or anything either. He is apparently making that. Those are AI generated posters, and it seems like something he is like really going hog wild with. But I don't think, like, I don't know this guy. I'm not gonna try and like analyze him.
Yeah, I feel like working full time on a game and then trying to like make a side movie as well. As long as it doesn't disrupt your main job, I don't see a problem with making a side movie.
I don't think he would then prioritize that fucking movie that is most likely not going to do very well in the first place. There's not like a huge hankering for more Christmas comedies. I don't think he would make that his priority over delivering Subnautica 2.
Yeah, especially if he was part of the whole first one. I feel like he would have like a special place, like the game would be a special part of him where he would want to put his focus in. But then again, who knows?
But there is really a chance that the truth is somewhere in the middle there, that maybe they really did stop working so hard on Subnautica 2 and it started to flounder a bit.
Yeah, potentially could have lost some motivation, started slacking.
And that's what led to this. It's possible. We don't know and we'll never know. But I will say, the only one that benefits from this is Crafton. The players don't benefit from any of this. The developers don't benefit from any of this. Crafton does.
Yeah, because he gets to now save $250 million.
They just saved $250 million, and they are still going to get Subnautica 2 at the end of the day, just at a later time frame than they wanted. Anyway, though, you can see how this is such a huge fucking mess here. And like I said, it is very interesting that Crafton was so direct here with these accusations against them, like just airing all of this out. It leads me to believe they might have like some concrete proof to support those claims.
Yeah, unless the guy's bluffing, but yeah, no, how he was wording things, it seemed like he's seen the things.
And now they're being sued for it, so they will likely have to defend themselves. And they might have something to prove it, or it really is all just a bunch of fucking barnacles and Crafton was extraordinarily greedy trying to save that $250 million by fucking the team. We don't know yet, but I am glued to this story now that I've learned about it. It is fascinating. Anyway, that's about it.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be keeping up with this. Right now I'm not on either side. It sucks that they got fired, but if they were slacking, it's understandable. Crafton moving the game back a year, like till next year, to potentially prevent the 250 million being sent out as bonuses. That could be a little stinky, but he could also be holding the game back because he's not happy with it. It's just there's a lot of ifs and whats, and I'm not picking a side until we get more concrete evidence. And if this stuff goes to court with the whole lawsuit stuff, I'm sure there's going to be some evidence that it's going to be put on the table. Right now, it's just a bunch of talk, and I can't pick a side with just talk. So let me know what you guys think. Do you go with Big Boss Man, or do you go with the guys who got fired, or are you like me in the middle? Like, not really any evidence. I can't just justify picking a side yet, you know? Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another video, and yeah, take care, God bless, and goodbye.